Hello everyone, have you noticed that enemies in Zenless Zone Zero are feeling a little bit tankier lately? You're not wrong. The enemy HP value have definitely gone up, and it's starting to shift how players approach the game. What used to feel like a fast-paced action is now demanding a bit more optimization, better rotation, and smarter team comps. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, it does raise some important questions. For example, about balance, power scaling, and how older characters are holding up in this rapidly evolving meta. Today, we're breaking down exactly why this HP inflation is happening, how it's connected to power creep and character balance, and why telling players they just suck or it's a skill issue is the worst possible take. We'll also talk about build mistakes, meta pressure, and why you shouldn't give up. Because these games, like many gacha games, is a marathon, not a sprint. A big thanks to LD Shop for sponsoring this video. Looking for the cheapest top-up deal for your Zenless Zone Zero account? Well, LD Shop has you covered. They let you enjoy 22% off discount for your monochromes. Just head over to ldshop.gg, pick your language, log in, then click Zenless Zone Zero. The site only requires you to put UID and server. To show you how easy it is, I'll top up 300 monochrome bundle. Once that's done, you're all set. In about 5 minutes, log back into Zenless Zone Zero and your monochrome should be there. Take note, all first top-up double bonus can be activated at ldshop.gg. New users get a sweet deal, a 10% off welcome coupon, and plus, if you're using my link, you will get an extra 5% off, saving you up to $50. And if you're a Giga Chad spending over $80, LD Shop gives you VIP status and a free internet subscription. So if you're trying to pull that S-rank agent or just stack resources, click my link below and start saving today. Huge shout out to ldshop.gg for sponsoring this video. First up, what is HP inflation? HP inflation refers to the rising health pools of enemies over time. And in Zenless Zone Zero, it's happening at a staggering rate. At launch, bosses had around 13.9 million HP. But today, we're seeing enemies with 32.6 million HP, more than double in a very short time. That's not just a tweak, that's a massive shift in baseline difficulty, and for a lot of players, it feels like a slamming into a brick wall. So next, why HP inflation happens? HP inflation happens in all gacha games. As stronger character get released, the dev raise enemy stats too much. If this left unchecked, this will become a big problem in the future. This isn't just about making harder, it's about design shortcuts. Instead of adding better mechanics or smarter AI for the enemies, they're just making boss tankier, and that's not good for gameplay flow. Now, let's be fair. Some people are struggling because their builds are off. And I'm not saying to insult anyone, but you'd be surprised how many players are running around with wrong disk drives, bad main stats, and substats that doesn't match their role. If you're trying to carry with flat def, HP percentage, or mixing disk drive set randomly, you're going to feel like your damage is trash. But here's the kicker, even with proper builds, a lot of older characters are still falling behind. Now, to be clear, older characters can still clear content. They're not obsolete, but as HP rise and new characters come out with stronger kits, the gap between older and newer agents is starting to show, especially if you're not running dupes or super optimized build. Here's where the conversation usually turns, and we need to set the record straight. HP inflation isn't the root of the problem, but that doesn't mean we're in full-blown power creep either. Well, not yet. Older characters in Zenless Zone Zero, they can still clear content, and that's important to remember. But the bar for performance is getting higher. You'll need a near-perfect substats, smart team setups to keep up with the rising HP numbers. And that's where the frustration comes in. The issue isn't the new characters are completely overshadowing the old. It's that the game is scaling up HP and difficulty without offering meaningful tools to help your early units scale with it. The good thing about Zenless Zone Zero is that the developer actually listens. They actually put out some surveys earlier this year that they are going to buff the older units, but other than that, there's no information about that currently. That being said, so while there's no clear power creep yet in Zenless Zone Zero, what we're seeing is stat inflation without balance support, and that creates a feeling that older characters are falling behind. It's not about damage numbers, it's about how the game is evolving around them. Now, about skill issue isn't a real argument. This is why saying skill issue or the player just sucks is such a trash take in every single game. And it's dismissive, unhelpful, and ignores the actual design problems at play. When enemies get double HP, old characters get no help, and even optimized builds start falling short. It's not just about skill, it's about systems. And when those systems shift too fast, players feel punished for sticking with the characters they love. Zenless Zone Zero is a marathon, not a sprint. And if all this has left you feeling frustrated or burnt out, here's the truth. You don't suck at this game. You're not bad. You're not falling behind, and this is a live service game. And like every good one, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Not everyone's going to pull every banner or hit max gear within a week. And that's fine. The system takes time, RNG plays a role, and sometimes you're just not lucky with substats. That doesn't make you bad, it makes you normal. Play at your pace, learn at your pace, and if you're enjoying the ride, then you're already doing it right. So yeah, HP inflation is real, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. The real issue is how fast the power creep is moving. For example, if they release a new Miyabi or much higher or much stronger than Miyabi, and that's going to ruin the game. But guys, you can still clear content, you can still use your favorites, but the gap between viable and optimal is getting wider. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. Drop a comment, are you still using your early game mains, for example Elle and Joe, or did you have to jump to newer agents to keep up? Either way, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.